Side Order is at least 4 months away still, and we still don't have any further information other than the trailer we got in the last Direct. Of course, we can get into this trailer and analyze everything we can find, but of course, if you are not subscribed, consider doing that. And also, if you are subscribed, you can help the channel a ton by just watching all the way to the end of a video. By doing that, it'll work the video up through the algorithm, more people can get help on the information. It helps me and it helps the community. Thank you guys so much for your support, and we'll jump right into the analyzation. So first things first, of course, we start out our screen, and we can see the Pearl drone and Agent 8. But we can also see in the background there is a lot of technologically advanced things, and it makes me feel like this universe is not exactly real, or if it is definitely messed up in some way. Next, we can see that Agent 8 is being flown around by the Pearl drone. You can also see that they have some new dualies, which we will see a lot more in this trailer. Of course, we can also see devices that seem to be encasing objects in either ice or some sort of case of plastic or something, but it does seem like they're putting these little objects, which maybe are collectibles, but it just seems like they're random objects that are being encased in ice or something of that like. This, of course, is very interesting, as we have this little orb in the middle that seems to have little white things floating around, and those are actually the bones of the dead fish enemies that we see in this trailer a lot. But we can also see that there are spots on the wall that seem like they're glitching out of reality, as well as that there are brown, icky blocks, and also the ceiling is just entirely brown and icky. We don't exactly know what this is, but it might just be something we can't touch or stand on. So this scene here is actually very interesting, and what I think this is whenever you start one of the rounds or stages of this entire DLC, it will actually make the whole thing as if it's being coded into the game or something. It'll start and you'll see the yellow wall, and the yellow wall will move forward and spawn everything that is in the stage for platforms to enemies, and it looks like it'll also spawn your dualies in your hand. I think this is how it works, and I don't think it's like, you know, some interesting cutscene. I think this is just going to happen every time before a stage starts. Here we can see our fish enemies, which I'm going to be calling dead fish because, you know, dead fish is probably the villain of this, but we'll get into that. Of course, we have our enemies here, which are the classic enemy, the only one we see in these trailers. And we can see that Agent 8 is hovering down using the Pearl drone to start attacking the bulb in the middle, or orb that is spawning the little skeleton creatures and also large skeleton creatures. You can also see in the background the ice and cubed things and objects that we continue to see through this are still there, and this could even be the same area that we see before, just at a different angle. Now, of course, as Agent 8 starts to shoot them, little points will appear saying, you know, 240 damage or more. It seems that this is probably a point system, so when you replay the stage, the more damage done to enemies is the more points you'll get, and that adds to your final score, giving you, you know, either more coins or such at the end to use in shops or whatever prizes you get, but it seems that is part of the point system. We can also see that the enemies put down black ink. This is very similar to the ink that salmonids put down whenever they move, but this is definitely a weird thing for Splatoon, seeing as we never had black ink in the past. Of course, we can see Agent 8 walking towards the Spire of Order, which is the main tower, also Deca Tower as it was called in Splatoon 2, but of course we can also see that it is still glitching out, and it seems that this world is glitching out of reality. In this shot, we can see a little panel on the side of a wall that shoots you up. We've seen these in the story mode of Splatoon 3. It's not out of the normal to see, of course, but it is there, and I'm trying to catch every detail. Something else very interesting is over here, as you can see I've circled, is a little glowy spot that's yellow. I believe this is where you spawn in, seeing as there is a platform over there. That is either where you spawn in, or it is also where you go out, because you can see that there does appear to be an elevator over there, and it just seems like the end or beginning of the area. Now, this shot is actually super simple. It is just a close-up of one of the glitches in reality that we see in the main plaza, but it's also just another angle at the plaza. We see these little things that are spewing out either liquid ink that is very liquidy or some other liquid. We see this a lot in the trailer and the background. And I think this is just a background element. It may not have anything to do with the story itself, but it is definitely something to note. And then Agent 8 and the Pearl drone come up to an elevator, and of course we can see dead fish, or act, or whatever you want to pronounce their name. I think it actually is pronounced 8, but of course you see them in the elevator, and they are from Splatoon 2's Octo expansion. They made the songs for that. That is what that character is. This character claims that they are not an enemy and they got sucked into this whole mess, and by saying sucked in, it makes me feel more and more that this is not reality. This is some sort of other dimension or some sort of technological computer universe. But you can also see that their arm is in a bandage, which means they are probably hurt and why they cannot help us with the battles. Things get very interesting when we introduce the color chips. We can see the main area of this game. The main subject is the elevator. We are just in the elevator, and that's where we will pick all of the courses. It seems that you can see that we are on level 15 in this video, and also you can see that the next floor is level 16. You can see that there are 3 things here: easy, normal, and hard. One of them is an orb with the skeleton fish pieces in it. Of course, we know what that is. It's probably one of the stages where you'd have to defeat those. The normal one, which is the second one down, pays more coins it seems, but also has the Splat Zones badge on it, which is very important, and you want to note that for later. And hard looks like it has either a kettle from the story mode or a blender, which was from Octo expansion. I'm not sure what this is, but it does have cubes below it, which makes me think it might have something to do with those cubed objects. Of course, we can see in this screen that we have lots of stuff on the side, from power, support, range, and mobility. Of course, there's splash radius, ink saver, main fire rate, just the standard stuff that we would need. But we can also see that there is the dualies, and it has curling bomb and reef slider. We can also see that the pearl drone drops a splat bomb. What I find very interesting, it says highest floor 16. That means that there are 16 floors, all containing 3 levels: easy, normal, and hard. If you do the math there, that's about 48 levels, if I am doing the math there. Of course, it says common tones. I don't know what that means. Those look like ink saver and a mystery. Perhaps you get an ink saver thing and then a mystery one. I don't know what that means. But of course, then we can see the palette below. This is probably just where you'll spend your coins to upgrade your armor and such, fire rate, everything that you have, your mobility. Probably that is what this is. In this next one here, of course, we can see that we're fighting a bunch of these skeleton fish still. You can also see that there is a armor thing, or armor suitcase it looks like, up on the top. We've seen these in the story mode, and that just makes you so you can take a couple more hits before you are splatted. In the background of this, we can see a box. Of course, the box is the cuttlefish box. We see this cuttlefish box in the story mode, and usually when you break it, you would get the eggs that you would, need to collect to break the fuzzy ooze up. But in this, I don't exactly know what could be in there. Perhaps there is an armor piece in there. This is a very hard frame to catch, and you can see a little canister back there that has the Marina face on it, or her logo face thing that we can see in Splatoon 3 a lot. And it's very interesting that we can see that, and that means that either Marina is up to something devious, or she's helping us with some canisters of probably power-ups, specials, who knows. Again, we can see another frame of our character having the area spawn in front of them, but this possibly could be a cutscene. This here, obviously, everything is pixelated, including our character. This could either be a cutscene or, of course, the area spawning in, as it is all coded in. Again, we can see in the background a little canister in the back, which this definitely makes me think that is using a special. Of course, if you get that can in the back, it'll be a special, but it has Marina's face on it, which makes me think that this is Marina's helping us, and she's not the villain, as a lot of people are speculating. And the last part of the trailer, we can see this area, we spawn into it, but it does not use the coding thing when we spawn into, so I think this was either a super jumping to an area or going to the next area in one of the stages, not initially coming to the stage. And the final thing that we have is this spinning thing in the middle here, which is super weird. This thing is super gooped up. I have no idea what this is. This could be the cause of the technological problems that this city is either having, or the cause of the whole world existing, because this thing does look very strange, but the little faces on it do look similar to the faces that Deadfish, the character, not the enemy, is wearing on her hat, which makes me think that she is actually the villain, and she is secretly behind our back messing us up. And that is the full analysis of this trailer. I tried to get every little bit that I could possibly get here and make sure I got all the information possible. If you guys watched all the way to the end, thank you so much for the support. And if you are not subscribed, you should do that right now and help us get to 200. We're super close. You guys will get another special, and I literally just put a special out, and you guys are like, nope, time for another special, which is great, and I just love your support, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. Later, guys.